Welcome back. Joining us now is Kimberly Deshields-Spencer, CEO and founder of Behind Her Brand. And she's the editor-in-chief of Behind Her Brand magazine, a magazine that tells the stories of businesses and career women. Kimberly, thank you so much for being here with us today. I love stories about successful people, about what their journeys were, because I'm always looking up how people got to where they are, if I can follow in their footsteps. So this is a great thing to read and to take in. What made you start the magazine?
Oh my goodness. I worked with professional women for about a little over 20 years now. And what I found a lot was that so many women felt alone. They felt like they didn't have anyone that can understand them, understand their journey, understand the ups and the downs. And then we also found that so many people kind of felt like that imposter syndrome, when they found someone online and they're like, man, why hasn't that happened for me? And I wanted to create a medium where it kind of shared more of people's journeys, the real ups and downs, the real lessons, the curveballs and the wins and the valleys, because I found that there's so much value in the journey. And so we wanted to create a medium where we can share with other women, other women's journeys, and the things that they did to grow and to build.
It's so funny sometimes people who, maybe they work in the same office or they work in the same industries, they all have the same feelings. They all feel this imposter syndrome, or they're feeling like they're not getting anywhere. But then it just takes, an inquisitive person or an ambitious person to get them to tell those stories so that other people can be like, oh, I'm not the only one.
Yes.
So a theme that I like that we're going to talk about is, so you've been on the cover of this magazine, and the term cover girl has been been thrown around a lot, but I like it. So what's it been like to be a cover girl?
Different. I have to tell you, my team had to really talk me into it, because for so long, like some women, I'm not going to say all, but we sometimes have hangups about our looks. We have hangups about, oh my gosh, I have the double chin, or I got this, or I got that going on. And so the idea of being on the cover was a little frightening, but then I started to really think about what it is that we're doing. And I started to really kind of just say, you know what, this is the whole purpose of it. It's to show up real, to show up honest. And, now being on it for a few issues, it feels good and it feels empowering, and it feels like a full circle moment for me, where I stop like critiquing myself and enjoying the whole process of being on the cover.
Yeah, and sometimes when you have a professional take your photo, you are very surprised. Like, wow, I'm actually beautiful, and I look at those angles and the lighting. Because sometimes we just can't get the result if you're a novice at home in your horrible lighting.
Exactly.
What advice do you have for women who are trying to find their inner cover girl? Because I think, and even I have a hard time with this, self-promotion is really hard. So, what's your advice there?
The best advice I could give, I did this exercise with a number of women, and where I asked them, what value do you bring to the table in your personal life and in your professional life? And I challenged them to write 20 different ways that you show up in your respective spaces. And what I found in that is that when you start really looking through the value that you bring to the table and really feeling like, you know what, this experience really birthed this in me. This experience really helped me do XYZ. And I find there's a beautiful confidence when you really value who you are and you value the journey that you've been on. And so I constantly have to check it back in my list sometimes, just when those moments come up, and remember, you know what, I bring value to the spaces that I'm placed in. And so I try to encourage women to do the same thing, not to shirk their value, not to dismiss it, and not to ignore it, like to really embrace it. And when you do, you show up differently.
Yeah, because you can get into a real dark hole if you are constantly ignoring the value that you bring to the world and to the space that you occupy. But one of your biggest goals is to promote and represent diversity. So tell us how the magazine does that.
When I look at the word diversity for this magazine, it's not so much about race, color, and creed per se. What I really wanted to do is bring about different diverse careers, diverse niches, diverse experience, diverse expertise. I wanted to create a medium where women who may be senior level C-suite, women who are beginning their businesses, maybe there's a homemaker who said, you know what, I'm ready to step back into whatever their desire might be. I wanted to create a medium where we explored the different facets of growth in different sectors and different areas, and really learn from each other in that respect, and not so much to say that I can only learn from this particular group, because I believe you can learn from anyone. My personal belief is you always still should be a student. And so that's why we really, really hone in on the diversity of the different women we featured, the backgrounds, their expertise, their experience. It just means a lot to us.
Yeah, so you're tapping into something that I really value, which is diversity of thought. So people who
Yes.
have different experiences, you know, I think much differently than somebody who works with numbers or works with science all day.
Yes.
And so it can just give you a really well-rounded road to kind of have this continued education. Well, I love it. I love the effort. Kimberly Deshields-Spencer. We have the link on how to get to the magazine on our website. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Still to come here, Pacifica Senior Living is a growing senior living community that provides elegant senior living throughout the U.S. And we head to the Fresno location after this.